Hi everybody. I will be explaining the EFE we did on Foot Locker. The EFE, or External Factor Environment, is a strategy used to examine companies' external environment and to identify the available opportunities and threats. We have identified Foot Locker's opportunities and threats, which I will be going into more depth on the upcoming slides. But the EFE is used to assess how well a company can handle its external factors, as I have previously stated. The score is based off the weights that we give each opportunity or threat. An average score for an EFE is around a 2.5. We pulled the opportunities and threats of Foot Locker from our steeple analysis that our team did. This is a picture of the EFE matrix that we did for Foot Locker. As you can see, we came up with more threats than opportunities because we feel that there are more threats to Foot Locker today because of the emergence of online shopping, and it is hard for a retailer to compete when companies want to have more direct sale with the consumer. I will now go over the opportunities of Foot Locker. The opportunities are increasing importance of loyalty programs. Foot Locker offers incentives to loyal customers such as specific color schemes they cannot get anywhere else, and early purchases on sneakers. Healthier, more active people means that Foot Locker has an opportunity to sell more to people who are trying to work out more and live a healthy lifestyle, because Foot Locker mostly sells athletic shoes and apparel. Growth of the footwear market. The footwear industry is expected to be $372 billion by 2020. This gives Foot Locker the ability to sell more footwear. As a known retailer of shoes, they would be able to be on the forefront of the boom that is expected to happen. New point-of-sale system. The new point-of-sale system is looking to expand and attract a more diverse customer base. Nike condensing retail base. Nike says that Foot Locker is one of the 40 retail companies that will be able to sell Nike. This condensing of retail bases will let Foot Locker be one of the top companies to sell Nike and increase sale and profits. Demographic of target market. The demographic of Foot Locker is 24% between the ages of 18 to 29 and 26% between the ages of 30 to 49, which says most of the customers that shop at Foot Locker are young and will continue to shop at Foot Locker for future decades. They will also have a future effect on younger demographics who are interested in shoes. The threats for Foot Locker are Nike is the biggest supplier. Nike makes up 70% of their supply they sell online and in stores. This is a threat because Nike also sells to Amazon, who is a competitor, and they also sell to other stores, plus have their own online/mall-based stores. Popularity of online shopping. Online shopping has increased dramatically over the past 10 years, and it does not seem to be letting up anytime soon. It is easy to use, and it is easy to get things. Decreasing popularity of malls. Most of Foot Locker sales come from mall-based stores, so the decreasing decline of malls means less Foot Locker gets to be able to have sales in places they normally would have an intake of revenue. Investors' lack of confidence. Investors are not too sure how Foot Locker is going to turn out in the future, so less people are investing in them. In the past year, Foot Locker's stock price has fallen to $28.68 and has risen to $59.40. Which means it is very volatile. Forward integration of suppliers. Suppliers such as Nike and Adidas are trying to have more direct-to-customer sales, which is going to hurt Foot Locker because Foot Locker is just a middleman for those companies. And if consumers can go right to the company, why would you need the middleman? Increasing of eBay sales. eBay is a good source to sell rare shoes for sneakerheads. If eBay is starting to sell more rare shoes at a discount because they have been used once, then Foot Locker will lose those customers who would have bought them in the store for the brand new price. Volatility of shoe trends. Shoe trends can last for a couple weeks or a couple of years. This gives Foot Locker a problem because if they buy the wrong product, they can hurt their sales and lose money on unwanted shoes. They overbuy the wrong product. Lawsuit over retirement plans. In June 2018, 16,000 employees were entitled to $290 million in benefits. This is a threat because Foot Locker could have invested the money in another area to improve the company. Amazon is becoming more popular for athletic apparel. The ease of shopping on Amazon makes it a no-brainer to shop there. And if you need something simple and can wait a couple of days. New NAFTA. NAFTA could bring in higher taxes on clothing and shoes made in other countries. Trade war with China. Most of the shoes made in the world are made in China because of cheap cost and because of fast production. If the trade war does not stop, it could lead to stricter tariffs on shoes. Zappos free shipping. Zappos offers free shipping on shoes, which could lead more customers to go there if they have time to wait for shipping and need a cheap pair of shoes. Also, people might go to the online store where a Foot Locker isn't right down the street or easily as accessible. The most important opportunities based on our EFE are increasing popularity of athleisure shoes and apparel, the growing footwear market, Nike condensing retail base, increasing prominence of direct-to-customer sales, and increasing importance of loyalty programs. We felt these were the most important opportunities because if Foot Locker is able to capitalize on these, they'll be able to defend against the threats more efficiently. The most important threats that we found based on our EFE are Nike being a supplier, volatility of footwear trends, decreasing popularity of malls, increase in product offerings from Amazon, and forward integration of suppliers. We felt these were the most important because if these threats continue to grow, Foot Locker will be left in the dust by their competitors and other companies. The rating of the opportunities and threats on our EFE are based from 1 to 4. 1 is they are not capable of handling the opportunity or threat, and 4 is they are very capable of handling the opportunity or threat. As you can see from our EFE, almost all of our opportunities have a 3 or 4, which means that Foot Locker is very capable of meeting those opportunities. Most of the threats are a 1 or a 2, which means that Foot Locker is poor at defending against these threats. We came to weighting the opportunities and threats on our EFE based on importance. If we think that we should be able to reach the opportunity or how likely the threat will hurt Foot Locker. Our total score of our EFE was a 2.45, which is below average. This means that Foot Locker's strategies aren't well designed to meet the opportunities to defend against the threats, but Foot Locker is close to defending against the threats. The conclusion of our EFE is that Foot Locker has a lot more threats than opportunities because of the emergence of online shopping and the ease that it brings to the shopping experience. Our EFE matrix is a 2.45, which is below the average, which means that Foot Locker's strategies aren't well designed to meet the opportunities to defend against the threats.